I'm driving to work this morning. It's Wednesday, April about 25th or so, 2018. I was thinking about how I wrote the president. I talked to the president to get this cult stopped in Ohio that I've been talking about, and I've been trying to make documentaries to get these people down and stop because they're making death threats on my children. Well, back when I was in middle school, I think, we used to walk Park Avenue to go to school. And somebody had told me through the air, I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was like one of our neighbor guys. I didn't know, I know this is going to sound weird, but this really did happen when I would watch movies like Charlotte's Web, Ricky Tikki Tavi, just all kinds of movies. Every time I watched TV, I was hypnotized by somebody that wasn't even there. It's weird that somebody could do this to even a child, but they did this when I was a little girl. They hypnotized me while I was watching TV. I think they did it to my sister. I'm not sure if they did it to my daughters, but somebody can hypnotize, and they put my mind out. Like I said in another video that there was something in my head. They put a chandelier looking kind of mirror, like, so they could talk through my brain, as if I was schizophrenic, but I'm not. These people actually do, in the flesh, like the witches, portray a devil behind us. My grandma Moore, when we were really little, she took care of us for a little bit when my daddy went to jail. She used to say, "Devil, get behind me," and I knew back then that that was wrong. Like, you don't say, "Devil, get behind me." You have to rebuke that thing. And to know that these people are able to leave their flesh, I could have been able to call Archangel Michael and get their souls down because they can leave their flesh. You're not allowed to astral project. It's against God. If you astral project with God, you only astral project like 1 or 2 times in a spiritual event with Jesus or the angels, but you do not always leave your body. That's a sin. You can only do that with the spirituality of Christ. But like I was saying, when I was walking to school, about 7th grade, I don't know when it was, I was about 12 maybe, 12 or 13. And through the air, I was told I was on Candid Camera. There was a TV show called Candid Camera. Well, I went to work about a month ago, and my boss had said I was on Candid Camera, and it dawned on me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember. Like, I need my memory jogged a little bit sometimes to remember stuff. And then my coworkers started talking about how wrestling and stuff like that. Well, that's what happened to me when I was a kid. My stepdad used to wrestle with us kids, and we would scream for my mother, and my mother would not come out and help us. This was all the time. Like, he was always going fee, fi, fo, fo, or he was snapping a belt at us, you know, scaring the crap out of us little girls. My mom ended up marrying him when I was about 4, maybe. I don't know how old I was. I have to find out, but I was told that when my real dad, which passed away 2 days after I went to Florida on July 8th a few years ago, he went to jail, and my mom and Tom had put this in the newspaper for my mom to get a divorce so that my dad would never see the divorce, and he wouldn't have any rights to his divorce or anything. And he did try to come see us when we were little kids, and he was turned away. And I had a vision that if my dad, I don't have visions anymore, these people are taking them away from me. I'm very upset about it, but I had a vision that my dad and his brothers would have been like very, very good with us kids, and my dad would have changed his life if he would have had us girls. And I did. I got to take care of my real dad, Gary Tyree, before he passed away. They say he died of lung cancer. I think he would have made it a little bit longer, but I took care of him. People were using him so badly. The nurse had told me that, asked me if I would take care of my dad so that he wouldn't pass away. And everybody that came in to see my dad, they used him. They used him up. They stole from him. They did everything they could to take advantage of an elderly man. And they don't. These people that are threatening me today, they don't care about respect for women or anything, children. They have no respect. They have no remorse. They don't care about anything. But I just wanted to put that out there that these people do find a way to spy for illegal so they don't go to prison. I've been hurt since I was a little girl. I'm probably one of the most abused women in the world, not just by my stepdad, but by this cult. That they are, I don't want to talk about this. What they have done is they had followed whatever my stepdad did because they had joined, they knew somebody that was an illusionist to be a hitman. The cops, I found out the cops are corrupt, that the boys in the 60s used to rape the women in school, and they found a way to get out of it, out of going to jail, is by messing around with these illusionist people they call the hitman. So they said it was a mafia, but it's not a mafia. It turned into a satanic cult. They probably didn't know they were playing with the witches and the illusionists. I don't know, but that's what happened. Now it's 2018, and people throughout the years have been following whatever they did back in the day. And it turned out that this is where God ended up putting the younger generation. Jesus sent me and Doug March and maybe a couple other people to stop the war because it got out of hand. It got really big. Like I said, after they put ICP out there, my friend Jason Fox, which really hurts me today. Me and Jason, we were very good friends when we were very little. We used to have Christmas parties at the Eagles together. Well, one day on the playground before we moved, so I would have to be before second grade when this happened, but Jason had a very, very, very bright light in him. Very bright light on the playground. We had a fire drill, and I'd seen him. And I just, I have goosebumps. I was so excited to see that Jason had this great big light. Well, back in high school, he started dating this girl, Amy, and he ended up dying on a motorcycle, which is very sad. I think he fell into the hands of the wrong people because there was people that was in the OWE class. OWEs, they were in a secret class. We were not allowed to know in school what they were doing. Well, I think they were writing music, and they were getting paid for it. The kids were being taught how to make money for their future. So somebody back in the day, like the Bee Gees, the Beatles, and all that, they wrote about the divine children today. Somehow somebody can see in the future. I don't know. Like Back to the Future, they predicted 9/11. Somehow, like Fleetwood Mac, they know this was going to happen. Someday I'll make another documentary about when I first met Doug March, because he was the one. He was the one that was my maternal soulmate that they killed. I believe that they deemed his death an accident. He had an aneurysm, but I'm pretty sure, I watched him go down. He couldn't talk some days, and I couldn't figure out why, but now that the more I go through this with these people, the hostage situation that I'm in, the more I know about what they're capable of. That Doug, they mess with your bones. I'm around people, I can't talk about it right now because it's not understandable to the human nature of the way we live our life. It's extremely strange that this is happening in our world to people like me. That there's people so evil.